The next poem is called In the Time of Assassins, and it was written a few years back when I read in the papers about the murder of a Somali poet and playwright by the name of Warsame Shire Awali, who was gunned down in the streets of Mogadishu back in 2012. So this poem was written in his memory and for Salman Rushdie, who I believe to be one of the most courageous poet, writer, artists alive in the world today. There's a recurring Latin refrain that runs throughout the poem. And it reads, Quos Deus vult perdere prius dementat. And it's translated to mean, those whom a God wishes to destroy, he first drives mad. In the time of assassins. A man writes poetry in the sanctity of his quiet house. The state either shuns or ignores him, mocks or derides him. But the blasphemers are feared. Those intemperate voices who challenge all beliefs, who tear down the temples of certitude and intolerance, quos Deus vult perdere prius dementat. Who but the degenerate among us could dare challenge the order endowed by Scripture, embellished with flame? Who but the degenerate among us dare question the great food chain of certitude and reliance? We who tolerate their singing, their parasitic charms, Federico Garcia Lorca, Pablo Neruda, Salman Rushdie, or Warsame Shire Awali, these renegade outcasts, these rogue finger pointers, these voices of triumph and liberation. We know them all too well. With the wisdom of the ages, they move among us. They sense our anxieties, sniff out our hypocrisies. They are the black sheep, our genetic rejects, pariah to our social selves. They are the dust under the rug, the distant cousin, the glass half empty. We feed them and clothe them, but resent their psychic powers. We spit on their tired faces and curse the mothers that bore them. Quos Deus vult perdere prius dementat. We will hunt them in the alleys, stalk them in our dreams. We will never rest until all these chattering teeth are torn from their skulls, all these tattling tongues dismembered from their mouths. We will hunt them and stalk them and stomp their bones into dust. We will rip their hearts from the breasts, these limp-wristed lily-lickers, these drunken louts and recalcitrant rebel-rousers. All these renegade outcasts, all these finger-pointing rogues, shouting, Liberté, fraternité, j'accuse. Quos Deus vult perdere prius dementat. We will break them all, make them beg for death, the way the tortured, battered, and bleeding on the rack. We will make martyrs of their kin and their children and their children's children. They will never be free of our will. They will never sleep naked in their beds again. Bring back Torquemada, the Grand Inquisitor. We will line them up against the walls. We will hang them from their genitals. We will chainsaw them into bits, grind them into jelly. We will make lampshades of their eyelids, purses of their bellies. We will blowtorch them into ash. We are the watchdogs of all that is reprehensible to the human spirit. We revel in our role, sip great draughts of joy from the lips of all their broken bodies. It is warm and comfortable inside our caves. We are content to live among the shadows.